Welcome to Ewetopia Farms. Today it's going to be all about the rams. Today we are setting up breeding groups, the last of the ones for this year. So we've got to sort the ewes to decide which ram gets which group of ewes, because we're doing breeding stock and we don't want anybody to be related. So there's quite a process involved. And then it's always about the decision, which rams are we going to actually choose. So before we do that, we're going to do some chores. So stay with us as we try to determine who the future daddies of next year's lambs will be. Well, nothing unusual happening in the main barn. We fed everybody and done their salt and minerals. These guys are getting really close. There's Chewy. And we got all the boys hanging out together. That's Fargo visiting with the boys. But we're going to head over to the coveralls now, see if anything exciting is going on in there. It's always good when all is quiet in the barn though. So we're in the Hamish's breeding group right now, and we're with Toonie. I forgot Toonie was in this group. She's waiting for her breakfast, intently ignoring the camera. Oh, you guys are so nice. You could all be show sheep. You could all be show sheep. You're so pretty. Hi. Looks like you want to say hello. You guys are nice. How did you get to be so nice? Hey? Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're so nice. And what's your tattoo? 45H even. Good girl. Hi. Hi. Where's Hamish? Oh, Hamish is right at the very back there. There he is. He's looking very handsome. Arnie's cleaning the drinker. And Gladiator is over by the salt and mineral. Looks like he's having more of a scratch than his vitamins for the day, although he is licking his lips. So for the salt and mineral, we have a rod in each holder, a metal rod. So sometimes if it gets wet or damp with this humidity or from them licking or whatever, we just use the rod to knock it down so it is easy for the sheep to get at. So in preparation for lambing, we always had problems with this jug, so Arnie made a better gate for it. Maybe, we'll see.
All we're going to do is go like this. You know why? Because I have to have a gate to block this.
Sure.
And if I cut it off, it'll be too short.
Sure.
Pretty good at hanging. Now it's just a pretty face here.
I think I've said before that if you come to our farm, the sheep will never be in the same place twice. It's because we always are reconfiguring the barns to have it set up for the different things that are happening at different times of the year. So this is the pen where we were sorting out our show sheep yesterday that was getting attacked by that vicious rain, wind, storm, tornado thing yesterday. And so we spread a whole bunch of bedding across the floor because it was really wet in here. We've taken down the chutes. And these creep feeders, as you know, we use them as dividing walls to separate breeding groups. In particular, we're trying to stop rams from fighting between the fences, because they can get kind of competitive when there's girls in heat around. So we use 2 creep feeders dividing wall. So before we can start choosing our rams and ewes that are going to go together, we have to get all the pens set up first. Think that when you're gonna have breeding going on, you're just gonna go into your ram pen, pull out a ram and throw them in with your ewes, but it's far from being that easy. There's a lot of preparation that is involved in getting breeding groups set up, especially when you're dealing with breeding stock. We're gonna have to make sure that nobody's related to anybody. If you have commercial market sheep, you should still do the same thing. Technically, you don't want inbred lambs just because you're liable to get problems, but a lot of people will throw in a whole bunch of rams and they don't care because they'll say that the lambs are all going to market anyway. But if you do choose your rams and use a little more carefully, even your market lambs should improve by better genetics and the lack of inbreeding. So even commercial breeders should consider that. These Dorsets are just so excited because there's new stuff going on in their barn. You guys are gonna have visitors across the fence. Hamish is looking really good right now after being with his ladies for a while. Now we're just taking the chute gates out because these blue chutes are extremely heavy. They're not really they're supposed to be portable, but they're not really portable unless you have the equipment to move them. They're extremely heavy. But now we got a big pen in here, and we're gonna take this jumping box out and go put it in the lamb coverall, because pretty soon we'll have little Dorset lambs that are gonna want to be bouncing around off that. So we got all the Suffolk ewes gathered up, and this is the time-consuming part. Right now we're going to pick 2 breeding groups, one for Geronimo and one for Snappy, and we have to find unrelated ewes for each group. And we're going to color code one group with a dot. Sorry about that, we couldn't figure out what that noise was, but Buddy's upset because he's locked out of the barn right now. Okay, we're gonna put that one with Snappy. And then we'll put that one with Snappy too. So to decide who I'm putting them with, I see who the sire is, so I find the most distantly related one. Okay, we're going to give the first one to your guy. I don't know why we call him your guy. Maybe he's getting a Jordan. And we're going to give this one to Snappy. I'll tell you when we get to 20, and then we can see how many are left. Give that to yours. Give that to Snappy. Give that to yours. To Jordan. That one has to go to yours too. That one is from Snappy. I'm gonna give that to Snappy. Right now we're on our final sorting. We've got 4 breeding groups, 1 cull group that's going to be shipped away. They didn't recover from parasites, so they're going to go. So here we have our cull group. These are mainly old ewes and ewes that didn't do well with parasites. One of them is an extremely expensive ewe we got from a sale that just never did well for us. At the back we've got Jethro's group. He's our first time ram we're going to be using, got one of our own. And we got Felon's group way back there. We're going to put the rams in these 2 pens because Arnie's already cleaned the manure out, so rams can't jump out. But Jethro can't come in here until Arnie cleans that side of the barn out, because Jethro could literally just step over the feeder. So he'll go in just a few days later. And this here is going to be Geronimo's group, and we're just going to run them over now. They're going in the barn where Gladiator is. So we're going to take, this is Geronimo's group. They're going to go into their new home now. Okay, so these guys are set up in here. We already have the dividing wall. We put that up earlier. We just got to get Geronimo. The good thing about him is he's halter trained, or he was. We'll see how he does this year. And we'll bring him over to meet his girls. Got the halter on Geronimo. He's going to hopefully remember his halter. So luckily Geronimo was a show sheep. So we're hoping that he'll do the right thing. Go on, you can do it, honey. Come on, it's not that scary. Come on, buddy. So we're gonna bring him over to meet his girls. He's one of our favorite homegrown rams. This is the nice thing about having halter trained rams. We got 3 that'll be coming over with a halter, but Jethro's not halter trained, so he may be a little more challenging. This was a ram who just loved to be shown. And he's related to Killer. And you can tell the temperament's the same. Hi, buddy. Well, 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 who have we here? Oh, and we got that cross there. She's my pet. There we go. That breeding group's set up. So now we're back at the ram pen. So Felon hasn't been on a halter for quite a while, so he's fighting it a little bit. Once he gets out here, he'll be okay though. The real key is this ram here wants to get out badly. You can tell probably from the video that these two rams we're bringing over look almost identical because they are father and son. This being the dad.
Come on. Come on. I really want to be doing this all the way over. Come on. Come on.
There's girls up ahead, Felon. There's girls up ahead. Okay, he's going to the back, so either we're going to bring him through all the ewes or we're going to walk him to the back. Okay, this is not his group. This is Snappy's group. We got to get him over to the next group. Okay, he's looking at the wrong side because he hasn't noticed that all his ewes are at the back. Look back there, honey. Go, look. Look. Now he's discovered them. They were kind of hiding in the back. So the guys take the first thing they see. He didn't see them. So now, before we bring another ram, we have to put a safety wall up here now. Set them up. These girls are just going to have a little sunlight. They're going to be in the paddock for a few minutes while we put up a dividing gate. Okay, so Arnie has to come get one of these feeders for a dividing wall. So I just gotta make sure Gladiator and his crew don't decide to escape on me. Well, he's trying to breed someone. Because Glad is in a group breeding someone else's sheep, we're going to use him for a cleanup this year. This is our oldest coverall, and this is the one that's only 40 feet wide. So this one has the least amount of width to it, like it's longer than the other ones, so it works out even, but we don't like the narrower barn. We prefer them having more space to hang out in, away from the feeders. So you can see that in the other coverall we have to have gates dividing the two feeders, but in these ones they actually overlap, and we use the drinker as the middle ground, so that's where we set the middle of the barn up. Okay, the ewes are going to come back, and then we'll get Snappy, and that's all we're going to be able to do for today. Come on, girls, this way. No, 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 no. Come on, that way. Come on. Come on. right. Back into your old house. Hurry up. No grain in there. No grain. Come on, that way. You can see where everyone is. Snappy's not a tame ram, but he was a show ram back in the day. Snappy's our oldest ram, so we wanted to use him in case something happens to him.
Oh, come on. Come on, bud. Come on.
He's still one of our best rams. I know I say they're all nice, but Snappy, he's an easy keeper, even though he's a big ram. He's not a monster ram, but he's not small. He broke his leg. You can see where the scur is on his front leg. And it healed, and he doesn't have a limp or anything. But he's a perfect all-round ram. And Snappy would be D, E, F, H, J. He's 6 years old now, so he'll be going into his 7th year. He'll be 7 in January. And he shows his age really well. He looks fantastic. Snappy is not a pet ram, but he's extremely well-mannered. He is not a hitter, a fighter. Just a really good ram. And he knows what to do right away. So Arnie's just coming back with the manure spreader. So tomorrow will be all about spreading manure. Oh, and it looks like we got Willow's here too. Our feed dealer and the manure spreader. So spreading manure is on tomorrow's agenda, because once we get all the manure off the platform and onto the bean fields, then we are ready to remove the manure from that barn where we're going to put Jethro, because we can't put him in until that manure is gone and we have no space left on the manure pile. So tomorrow it's all about spreading manure. Sounds exciting. So as Willows offloads their stuff and Arnie puts away the manure spreader, we're going to call that a day. We've got all our breeding groups set up, and tomorrow we move on to removing that manure. Fun times. Hope you'll join us. Bye for now.